Hello, I'm back with something new. So I've been super busy in the last, I think it was 2 weeks actually. So you remember the one of the last videos I've made was about our government saying that they are our enemies. And so I've been working on that. And so the last article that I will post is called How Do They Manage to Control the Narrative? So I've got midges. I'm in Scotland. I don't know if there's midges biting me at the same time, so it's not the best. Anyway, I will carry on. Yes, I've used the video from somebody called Tim Gillen. I'm not sure you pronounce it in English. It's Tim Gillen or Tim Gillen. And I think it was made, it's called uh, Monopoly, the owners of the world or something like that. And so it was made, it talks about the pandemic and so on. So it was probably made in 2020, 2021. So, and it was really interesting. It explains more or less, how the world is controlled. So, but the video is quite old. So what I've done, I've taken the video, the inquiry, and I've updated it. I've looked at the facts, and so in the article you will see more or less what that guy says, and all the facts have been updated by me. I looked at things one by one, and so it will be quite interesting. So something you have to know. So there's three ways we are controlled. So the first way is through the economics and through the industrial, like all our food and the tourism and all industries. The second way is a big part is the media control, and the third way is the politics and these institutions, like the World Economic Forum and all these foundations. So I will explain one by one very quick, but you can have a look at the article and it gives you the facts. I've done print screens and everything. So the industry, you look at every industry in the world. So really everything like, tourism, technology, the food sector is an important one. Pharmaceuticals, it's important when you think what happened just 3 or 4 years ago. It's important that you're aware of that. Everything, you look at my article, I give you more detail, even the payment methods and so on. So everything is more or less owned by two companies. So it's BlackRock and Vanguard. And there's a few other ones that names that always come back and so on, but these are really the two most important ones. And when you look at BlackRock, it's actually owned by Vanguard. So Vanguard is actually the one that, each company is owned by other shareholders, and the other companies at the top, it's like a pyramid, and at the top you got Vanguard, because even BlackRock is owned by Vanguard. One of the main shareholders is Vanguard. So, and when you look at who owns Vanguard, it's impossible to know. There's no information online at all. And so I will talk about it. It needs another article. I need to talk about it. It's so more or less who owns Vanguard. It's pretty much likely to be the big families, all these old bankers families and so on. And there's a word that I will use in the next article. It's I've got it in French, so I think it's I can't remember. So sorry, so it's more or less all. Sorry, the name will come back in my next article. So you will see it's always these big families more or less that own the world. So yes, so the second part is the media. The media, you will see there's a big monopoly in the media. And so just looking at the US, it's just I think it's six companies owing everything. And these companies as well are, you know, own other media in the world, like in the UK and so on. So it's really interesting to look at that. And in terms of news, all the news you see everywhere, it just doesn't come from each media. It comes from what you call news agencies like Reuters, and in French is the AFP, and so, that's why when you look at TV, something happens and you see that, all the same news come at the same time and they all say exactly the same thing. I don't know if you've noticed that. They all share, they all take their information at one place. They don't, there's no proper journalist anymore, in this world. Journalism is just looking at the website and they tell you what you have to say. So yes, that's interesting. You can look at that, and you can look as well as who owns these medias. So yes, all I'm giving you, it's ideas. I'm giving you some tips on where to look at. I won't do all the job for you. It's if you're interested in knowing, I'm giving some information, and you can afterwards make your own, double check what I'm saying and go deeper, in looking into it. And the third one, is about the. Sorry, I've got the midges everywhere. So yeah, that's all these institutions. So you've got, for example, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. That's all these institution charities that are supposed to help, so just looking at them, for example, they are in everything in terms of health and pharmaceuticals everywhere. They are infiltrated in everything. So when you really look at it, it's actually very scary. And you have other ones like the George Soros Foundation, the Soros Foundations, and so on. And they are more into like third world countries and like charities and all these things. They found them, Yes. So, and the last one, I've talked about them already. It's the World Economic Forum, and it's supposed to be a think tank, and it's supposed to 1 year, each year they meet in a place in Switzerland called Davos. And that's where they bring all the private and the public sector together, and they are supposed to talk about the future of the world and so on, and yes, so these people, so the Davos meetings, they bring a lot of head of states, a lot of big CEOs and so on. So, and they more or less shape our world future. That's where they decide what they will do with us. And one of their main agenda is the transhumanist, transhumanism. And the World Economic Forum, they created the Young Global Leaders. It's like a group of, alumni. It's an alumni program where they train or shape the future leaders of our world. And a lot of world leaders today come from that school. So look at the article, you've got all the information, and they created something, I don't have the name in my mind, but it's the Global Shapers or something like that. And it's more or less the same as the Young Global Leaders, but it's for people under 30. And they got hubs everywhere in the world. So they really, 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 infiltrate everything, So when you look at the 3 points I've talked about, you see well how the world is controlled, how they decide, our future and so on. And something else I haven't talked about, but I might just do, a separate video about that. It's all about the secret societies, the Freemasons, Illuminati, and the Bilderberg Group and all these things. So you've got what you more or less see, and there's things under as well. So yes, plenty of things to talk about, but read the article, because I don't want to say too much in the video. And so the link will be put in the comments. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.